4 and Today we're breaking down Count on Me by Bruno Mars in the fingerstyle or the chord melody style. Printable tabs for this tutorial and all our tutorials in the notes. You'll also see a link to the chord melody playlist if you're into this style, which you should be because it's awesome. You also see links below to the tabs as well as my email if you want some Skype lessons one-on-one. But if you came just because you're ready for this tutorial, that's cool, I dig it and I respect it. Why don't you go ahead and grab your ukulele. Brain and attention span. Once you have those three things, follow me on in and let's break this lesson down together. Come on in, let's do it, friends. Okay, our chords. Classic G shape. Classic E minor. Classic D. Classic C5, which is middle finger, 3rd fret of the E, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A, 0, 0, 3, 3, C5, A minor 9, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 2, 0, 0, 2, regular C minor, regular B minor. We also have the same B minor shape on the 7th fret, making it an E minor. Move it down 2 frets and get your middle finger on the 6th fret. So we have 7, 6, 5, 5. This is a D. Move that down 2 frets. 5, 4, 3, 3. This is a C. Keep that there. Get your pinky on the 5th fret of the A. So we have 5, 4, 5, 3, A minor. Move that up 2 frets. We have a B minor, 7, 6, 7, 5. We're also going to see a D shape here, muting the G, 9, 10, 9, D major. And while we're up here, we're also going to see 11, 12, 10, muting the G, E minor. You could get the G in if you wanted to. It won't make that big of a difference. And those are all the chords. We're playing in the key of G because in the original key of the C, the highest note was 12, 13, 14, 15 on the 15th fret up here, and it just didn't really sound good, so we moved it into the key of G, all right? Okay, so I'm also going to be teaching it in a basic bones version and then a version with more strumming, and we're going to do them back to back. The play along at the end, we'll do the basic version followed by the complex version. And the printable tabs for Patreon will have both the easier one with less strums and the fuller version with more strums. I encourage you to learn the easier strum first, get the bones, and then add the strums. Okay? So let's break her down and let's jump into the chorus. Okay, so now we've seen all those unique chord shapes. Why don't we go ahead and break down the chorus? I'm going to do 3 measures at a time. Now, the intro riff, we're going to play G, and we'll just be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's kind of the intro groove. We're going to talk about that groove in each measure specifically because the song opens up with some 16th notes, but then a lot of the melody for the rest of the song is 8th and quarter notes, which can feel kind of sparse. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a G chord, and on the 1 you're going to strum through with your index finger. I use my index finger when there's no melody and my thumb when I want the melody to shine. And I'm going to go 1 and I'm going to release the pressure with my, oops, sorry to hit the microphone if that popped. It's pretty hot in here, so it's getting some sweat out of my eyes. We're in Colombia and all the windows and doors are closed because the neighbors are having construction and there is no air conditioning. So if you're wondering why I always look hot, it's because I'm in a sauna doing these lessons. So we're going to go down with the index finger, release the pressure with the left hand, and go down again. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we're going to do that for the first 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 Now you can do that if you want, or you could just jump right into the melody. At the end of that, you're gonna go 4. Well, the last time through, you're gonna go 4 and so you're not gonna hit that strum. The last one would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're gonna play the second fret of the A string and then the open A. And we're gonna jump right into the first beat of really the song here, and it's strumming through a G chord with your thumb because the melody is the B note on the A string. So you get 1 and, well, and a 1 E and a 2. So you're gonna strum through, release your middle finger and play the A string, return your middle finger, play the A string, release your middle finger, and then on the second beat, you'll strum all the way through again. The second beat though, you'll see that it is not 16ths, it's back to 8th notes. So you're gonna go 2 and you'll play the second fret of the A string by itself. Third beat like the first one, 3 E and a 4. And what you're gonna do there is you're going to play through, all the way through again, release your middle finger, play the open A, return, release, and then again on the fourth beat, strum all the way through a G. And then you're gonna get to that second fret of the A string again, but this time it's a little quicker. It's like 4E. So the first measure, nice and slow, with the run up, we get 1 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and into the B minor, okay? Over the B minor on the first beat, your melody is going to be the first, the B note on the A string. So you strum all the way through with your thumb, and the second measure would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about how we're going to learn this compared to how I would perform it. I'm going to learn this just like this. I'm going to teach it to you just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Now the tabs would be really, really clustered because I tabbed them out. When I perform it, I'm going to play it like this. 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and. So in between each of those downs, there is a down up. So it'd be like 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and. Ultimately, when you learn it, I think it's going to be way easier if you learn it exactly as the tabs are written, and you decide how many extra strums that you want to fill that space in, okay? So we're just going to learn it 1, 2, 3, 4, and. But again, I would play it, if I'm playing it live, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and, to fill in that extra space. All right, so let's play these three measures together. We get, okay, so let's play these three measures together. We get, and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Then we're into our next three measures. We're gonna make an E minor, strum all the way through with our thumb because we have our melody there. And then we're gonna play the third fret of the E string, and then the fourth fret of the C string. And this is a great example of how when you're composing your own music that you can just walk right through an arpeggio using the chord tones and it sounds great. Sail the world. D chord. Well, then it'd be another hit of E minor on the second beat. 2. D on the third beat. 3, 4. And then you would come down and play 2 and open. So that first measure, nice and slow, you get 1 and a 2, 3, 4, and a. From here, we're gonna go and we're gonna make a C5 shape. A C5 is a power chord that's gonna be open, open, and then this third fret of the E string and the third fret of the A string. Now this is a C chord without the major third. So it's a C chord without the E in it, making it a C that's neither major nor minor because it's just the root and the fifth. Pretty common to use this shape in chord melody when the singer is singing this G note over a C chord. So you get and I'm using my thumb to pluck the C string and my index finger to pluck the 3rd fret of the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we see that same and move again on the C. So the second measure you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and Now our third measure is the same as the first measure of the tune. The only difference is at the end, we're going to grab the 5th fret of the A string instead of the 2nd fret. So you get 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, so let's play these 3 measures together, nice and slow. They look like this. 1 E and 2, 3, 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. All right, and then we are into the next 3 measures, the last 3 measures of the chorus. You'll notice that the first one here with the B minor we have already seen. 1, 2, 3, 4 and it bears repeating there that I am playing the thumb on the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4 and the index on the 2, 3, and 4. My melody is only on the first beat. Then I get into a similar move we've seen with the E minor. 1 and a 2, 3, 4 and a similar move that we've seen with the C5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those 3 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and a 2, 3, 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that chorus nice and slow, exactly like we have up for the tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4 and Okay, I want to play it through one more time how I would play it live, all right? So I'm going to put the tabs up now, and you're going to see why I'm not teaching it this way. These tabs are going to have the extra strums in it, and they're just really harder to read, but this is how I'm going to play it live. In the PDF printable version that you're going to get on Patreon, I'm going to have both the versions, the learning version that's a little easier to see, and the live version, how I would play it live. And now it's going to look something like this. Quite a bit different how much space it's going to fill out, but you can see the tabs are just so much harder to read. So if you want to, after you learn the first play along, I would suggest going through and looking at that one as well, because it fills up a lot of that empty space and sounds quite a bit better. Okay, so let's move on to the pre-chorus. Pre-chorus, we're going to start off 2 beats of an A minor, 1, 2. Then we're going to get our ring finger down on the 2nd fret of the A string, making an A minor 9. Very cool chord. Strum through with our thumb, because our melody is this B note here. We get 1 and, pluck it again on the off beat, 5 on the 4th beat, 7 on the off beat. So you get 3 and 4 and. Then you're going to make a B minor here with your pinky on the 5th fret. This can be kind of tricky for some people because we're getting the pinky involved. And then we're going to actually pull the 5 to 2. So you get 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. So the first 2 measures, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Here comes the really recognizable part that sounds really good. You're going to strum all the way through a C chord, middle finger, 2nd fret of the A string. Then you're going to pluck the open A string with your index finger and the open C string with your thumb on the 2nd beat. 2, your thumb will reach down and grab the G string, and then you'll repeat that motion. So the 3rd measure, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. And you let that, you're going to get a D chord and let that ring for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Make a G chord here, even though it's just the 2nd fret of the what's it called? A string. We're moving into a G chord. So to play those 4 and fretted in a G chord, it will help going into the chorus. So the pre-chorus, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and then we're into the chorus. All right, so why don't we put the other live performance tabs up that have a lot more strumming going on. Here you're going to see I'm going to play something. If I walk you through it nice and slow, now that you've got the other piece, though, make sure you have the other piece first, okay? This would be something like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a lot more strumming and it's a lot more dense, the tabs. That's why we're doing it this way. Maybe it feels like we're learning this 2 songs, but I really recommend getting the first version really down first before you try my live version, because there's just a lot more going on in that live one in terms of, but it's only adding strums, but they're 16th strums. So make sure you have that bass and that foundation down before you try that, okay? Okay, the chorus, G chord, and this is another time too here where you're going to see a little bit of difference in what I'm playing, what I'm teaching you at first, and then the way I would play it live. But let's look at the way I'm teaching it to you first. G, strum through with your thumb the first 3 strings. 1. Strum through all of them with your thumb. 2. Pinky 5th fret of the A string on the 3rd beat. 3. Remove and strum the first 3 strings. 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. B minor, very similar. First 3 strings, all 4 strings, pinky 5th fret, and then the first 3 strings. But the difference here is we're going to hit that on the 4th beat. We're going to go 4 and play it 2 times. 4 and. Okay, then we're going to make an E minor and we're going to play the 4th fret of the C string, the root note of that E. 1. And then we'll strum through on the 2nd beat. 2, make a D major, 3, 4, and then on the off beat, on the and, we're going to play the 3rd fret of the E string. The easiest way to do that is just to take your pinky that's already there in the D chord, slide it over 1 fret, play that one, and then we're going to go into that familiar motion. So these 4 measures we get. Okay, now let's add some extra strumming to it. If we pull it up, this is what it looks like. Once you've mastered that, the strumming here is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I'm doing on that first one is I'm strumming through with my thumb on the numbers and on the offbeat index finger to keep it moving, but there's no melody. So it's like thumb, index, 1 and 2 and 3, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So those first two measures, extra strums on the ands. E minor I get here and I play the second beat, or sorry, the first E, down, and then I go 2 and a D, 3 and a 4, boom. So those 4 measures with the extra strumming would be. Okay. Again, I hope you understand why we're doing them apart. It's really going to help you to do that first part the easier way first. Okay. The next 4 measures, good news is these next 4 measures are exactly the same as the last ones. I'm sorry, there is a little difference in the 4th beat, or the 4th measure. On the second beat, you're going to go 3, 2, open, and you're going to hit that G string 2 times. 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then instead of playing the open G string on the last beat, you'll play the open A. So let's play just that 4th measure really slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then we enter the last 4 measures of the chorus. Okay, the last 4 measures, really cool stuff. This is when he enters his falsetto. And this is why we're playing this particular song in the key of G instead of the key of C, because you would have to play in his key, the 15th fret up here. And I just thought, you know, most of your ukuleles probably don't even have a 15th fret. So that's why we're playing it in the key of G instead of the key of C. We're going to thumb strum on the first beat, the first 3 strings, the melody's that G note, 1. The second beat, the next strum has no melody, so you use your index finger. 2, keep your fingers in this position, 3rd fret of the E string, remove your middle finger, play the open A, put it back down, 2nd fret, then we'll come way up and grab the 10th fret. And you can use your middle finger. I would advise using your middle finger. So we get 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And we're going to make a B minor. And this B minor is going to be the 9th fret of the A string, 10th of the E, and the 11th of the C with your ring finger. And you're going to strum all the way through. And then you're going to do a down strum with your index finger on the second beat because, again, no melody. So you get 1, 2. Avoid that G string. If you have to, you can also even mute it with your thumb on the off finger. 1. Okay? So you get 1, 2. And then repeat that same 3, 0, 2. But instead of coming to the 10th fret the second time through, you're going to play the 9th fret. And then you're going to bar the 7th fret of the ukulele with your ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string to play the E minor. If that's ring finger is just too hard for you, you can play the E minor 7 a lot easier, which would be 7, 7, 7, 7. So those first 2 measures, nice and slow, you get 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Down to a D major here. And we're just going to strum through with our thumb. 3, 4, down to a C major, thumb through, 1, index finger 2, back up to a D major, thumb through, 3, down with your index finger, and that's where the chorus would end, and that's where you would play 2 and O, and you're back into. So that's where you would start over there. Now, after you go back through the verse and you play through the chorus the second time, there's going to be a little difference there, okay? You're actually not going to play the 2-O. You're going to play just the D, and we're going to jump into the A minor. But why don't we go ahead and try to play through the whole chorus one time together before we move into the bridge. And the bridge is the last piece, and then we'll put the whole song together. Okay, so here we go without the extra strums. Okay, into the verse. Let's do it one time now with the extra strums. All right, so here we go with the extra strums. Okay, I accidentally hit the 3rd fret and then open. It's actually the 2nd fret at the end, but that was the chorus with the extra strums, okay? All right, so now let's just break down the bridge, and then we have them all, and then we're gonna do a full play along. All right, so the bridge, we're just gonna break it down just with the extra strums because otherwise it sounds a little too sparse, okay? So this is gonna be the only version for this part. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start off with this E minor, A minor that comes from this F sharp minor shape. Ring finger on the 5th fret, middle finger on the 4th fret of the C, pinky on the 5th fret of the E string. You're gonna strum the first 3 with your thumb, and then you're gonna, on the offbeat, just hit them with your index finger. 1, and then you're gonna get your index finger way up here on the 2nd fret of the A string, all the way through with the thumb, index finger. Move it to the 3rd fret, thumb, index finger. Then we're gonna have to pick up the fingers and rearrange the shape to 5, 4, 5, 5. And then you're gonna strum through there with your thumb and then index finger. So that first measure of the bridge, you get 1, 2, well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we got that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it up from 5, 4, 5 to 7, 6, 7. Same idea. This time now it's a B minor, okay? You're gonna play through that 7, 6, 7 with your thumb, just those 3 strings, and then you're gonna take your index finger and keep the beat going on the offbeat, like 1, and then you're gonna get your pointer finger down on the 5th fret. You're gonna strum through with your thumb. You're gonna go 2, and now we need to lift the fingers up to change the shape because we got 7, 6, 7, 7. We're gonna strum through with our thumb. Here we're gonna go 3 and pinky on the 9th fret, 4 with our thumb, and. So those two measures, we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go to this really cool E minor shape up here. Now I played this song, I arranged it on a soprano, so I know if you're out there at home and you're on a soprano, you can also do this. That's the reason we did it in the key of G, so you could also play it on a soprano. 11 of the C string, 12 of the E, 10 of the A, and you're going to strum through with your thumb. 1 and a 2, 1, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now it becomes this really cool D shape based on this G that's going to be 9, 10, 9, and you'll strum through with your thumb. You're going to go 1 and then and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So thumb strum. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And then you would hit the 7th fret of the E string, because then we would go right back into that A. So let's play these 4 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1. A minor and B minor are the same as last time. Ninth fret of the A string, 7th fret, 8th fret, and then way down here, 2, O, and you're back into the final verse. So those are all the pieces. Let's do a play along like this. What we're going to do is we will do the original, we're going to do the first verse without the extra strums, nice and easy. We're going to do the second and then the first chorus without the extra strums, nice and easy. Then after that chorus, we're going to get back to the second verse. In the second verse, I'll add the extra strums. Then in the second chorus, I'll add the extra strums. After the second chorus, we'll play the bridge. And then just to complete the song, I will play one final chorus as well. That way you have all the pieces, and that way you can play at the level that you choose. Again, the printable Patreon PDFs are going to have a version without the extra strums and with the extra strums, so that way you can learn the easier version first and work your way up. Okay, so let's take it from the top. Two, three. 3, 4. And then it would go into the verse again, and then it would go into the chorus again, and then that would be it. That would be the whole tune. At the very end, you just strum on through a G, and you got the whole song. It was a little jumpy in the play along because I had to turn the page to the iPad, so hopefully I played it seamless enough, but hopefully you can still jam along with it. All right, that was the whole tune. Maybe the longest tutorial yet. We'll see when it comes to the editing. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Keep on loving in life. 10thumbspro.com. Life is good, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Cool, that was it. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. Remember, new ukulele every single Wednesday and Saturday. Subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a lesson. Get your printable tabs up there by becoming a Patreon. Skype Lessons 101 if interested. One free hand, moving everywhere. This other hand has a ukulele, so this one's the wax on, wax off. Cleaning up that dirty windshield, you know what I mean, with those dark arts. Okay, back on track. I think that's it. T-shirts up there as well. And until next time, life is good, friends. Rock and roll, love, peace, and chicken grease.